Hello, Walter McKone here. I was going to really put a lot of effort into documenting and organising myself about what I'm going to say, but I thought, you know what, let's just let it roll. Mental health issues. Our society has no facility for curing mental health issues. It's a cultural problem. It's a cultural, social problem. It goes right back to the Greeks, and we cannot get out of it because there is no facility in our culture for getting out of it. Plato was a real problem, separating things out, saying that our immediate experiences are not to be trusted because they were totally unstable, so we got to look for stability behind our experiences. It's a bit like looking behind a mirror. So you see a face in the mirror and you start looking behind the mirror to try and find the answer. That's what we keep doing. Rather than taking the direct experience or appearance of what's happening seriously. Aristotle was aware of this. His approach was far more dynamic, a constant dynamicism of movement, rather than this looking for some stability behind everything. And that's what we keep looking for, and this is part of the problem. In fact, we can go right back to beyond that, before that. We can go back to Pythagoras, who is still here. Pythagoras' theorem, remember that? You know, his idea of the secret organisation called the semicircle, where actually women were put down all the time. So we've already got this separation. And the way we treat women today, it hasn't changed. Way back to the pre-Socratic times. The whole concept of mind, where's that book? By Bruno Snell, The Discovery of Mind. This is the Greeks. It was the poets. You know, they used to revere the gods. The gods did this, the gods did that. And of course, during the whole movement of the Iliad, Homer's Iliad and the Odyssey, then we end up with the poets trying to explain these things. So the whole concept of mind arose out of a sense of self-awareness in the world around. And Aristotle's approach went right through to the Middle Ages, until the Enlightenment. Specifically, I mean, we could talk about the 30 Years' War with the onset of modern science, with Descartes, and this John Locke approach to mind-body separation. And we can't seem to be able to get out of this. Oh, it's in my mind. No, it's not in your mind, it's where you are in the world. So this whole thing of mind-body separation, and we're trying to look for answers through psychology. We need to look at history, we need to look at philosophy. Not putting the psychologist down, please. Don't misinterpret what I'm saying. And this whole idea, the whole Cartesian approach, which is René Descartes' philosophy of the sort of 17th century, it has no facility in it for truth. It's a system of falsification. It's a universal system of doubt. And so we've got a system of doubt which is trying to help us to cure problems. So what it does is only disproves previous knowledge. It doesn't give us any truth to go forward. In fact, I think it was Xenophanes or someone, I want to look at that now. He said, the only real truth or to know something is actually to see it. And that seeing isn't a visual seeing. It's our imagination. So it's as if we're Emilius Barantinos, a Greek philosopher. We are snared in our own consciousness. We can't seem to get out of it. It's like a hall of mirrors. So when we start reflecting on things, it becomes a re-representation, not the thing in itself. So really we're stuck in a social cultural trap. We keep going round and round. And every time we sort of focus on something, we can only understand it through our own theory. So I've been looking at osteopathic psychology, or as they used to call it, psychophysiology. And the first book on osteopathic psychology was written by John Martin Littlejohn, 1899. And it is comparable with the work of William James. Now, those of you who know me knew I'd be going to this point. Everything's about action. If someone lacks self-confidence or lacks confidence, you don't talk about it. Hang around people that are confident, and you'll see that your environment you're in will actually help. If you're really miserable, you tend to look for people who are also miserable, because we know that misery loves company. And this goes on and on and on. So it's basically how we treat each other. It's not in your mind. There's no chemical imbalance. All this constant use of drugs and medication, and we keep blaming everything else other than ourselves. We keep blaming technology. Oh, social media, bad. Okay? All social media is doing is amplifying who we are. We are treating each other badly. Most people at work all day, and I still hear stories about people, middle management or upper management, whatever it is, blah blah, all treating each other really badly. the main issue of mental health is how we treat each other within our own culture. But again, as I say, the real problem lies in the fact that our culture has no facility for helping us. First thing we've got to, I suppose, is get this mind-body phenomenon. We are where we are in the world. We are all embedded in the world. We become aware of our senses by attention. So we are constantly being sensed, and it's constant movement. We're always too late. We're always paying attention to the experienced, not the experiencing of something. As if we're always downstream, as Henry Bortoff, or the late Henry Bortoff would say. We're always downstream, never coming into the process. We're always going to be too late. I hope that helps.